Hey there, pretzels. I wanted to go over some changes that will, or updates that have been put into our high school handbook this year. Registration will be opening soon, and as we're preparing for the new school year, we've got some changes to our handbook. This year's theme is going to be the road to success is always under construction. Chapter 1. There are a few things that were changed, and these are things that were required by the Model Student Handbook so that it's in line with our board policies. There was an update in our visitor policy, and so we added any person who engages in prohibited conduct may be ejected from or denied admission to school property in accordance with state law. The person may also be subject to being denied admission to school athletic or extracurricular events for up to 1 calendar year. There are also some new procedures added for free and reduced priced food services. And the general information like the daily schedule was updated, events calendar, and also our general school information was updated. You will have access to some of these things on the last slide of this presentation so that you can have those and print them off if you need them. A big change to our handbook for next school year will be our attendance procedures and policies. Students are much more likely to succeed in academics if they have consistent school attendance. If a student is absent, it's the responsibility of a parent to call Ms. Peacher, and the number's there. Please call by 8 a.m. to report the student's absence. Any student absent from school without a call from a parent will be contacted by 10 a.m. to confirm the student's absent and the reason for the absence. A student absence will be designated as excused and exempt from truancy reporting, or excused as outlined in the table that will follow these slides. This part of our attendance procedures is a new procedure and policy. Student absences will be limited to 4 days verified by a parent, in addition to 5 days for mental health as per the Illinois School Code. After the 4th absence, a doctor's note or legal document from a court will be required. If at any time during the entire school year a student is absent more than 4 days, a doctor's note will be required for any absence to be considered excused. The doctor's note must state that the student was unable to attend school and give exact times when the student was seen in the doctor's office, or it will not be considered an excused absence. After the 4 days, all absences are considered unexcused without verification from a doctor or legal document. The Illinois State Board of Education considers any student that is absent over 9 days in a school year, whether they are excused or unexcused, as a chronically absent student. Here are the newly outlined excused absences. A parent can call in up to 4 days and have the absent be excused for the following reasons: illness, doctor appointments, and that absence needs to be accompanied by a doctor's note within 48 hours of returning to school. Students will be excused for the specific time of the appointment and travel time. Attendance at a funeral for someone that's not an immediate family member. This is new this school year due to the changes in the process of how the DMV, or Department of Motor Vehicles, Secretary of State, operates. We are going to allow 2 periods as excused for a student to get their driver's license. If they have to take the test at the DMV, they are excused for up to 4 periods. Whenever we look into truancy reporting and whether we need an intervention for attendance, some absences will be excused and exempt from truancy reporting. For instance, the 5 mental health or behavior health days Keep in mind, when your child takes a mental or behavioral health day, they cannot participate in after-school activities. They can't participate in sports, in games, or come and attend sports or games for the evening. Observance of a religious holiday, attending a civic event, students eligible to vote or excused for up to 2 hours to vote in a primary, special, or general election, 5 days in cases where the student's parent or guardian is an active duty member of the uniformed services and has been called to duty, attending a military honors funeral to sound taps. And then the third category we have for excused absences are excused as per our board policy and exempt from truancy reporting. A prearranged absence based on administrative approval, illness of 3 consecutive days verified by a doctor's note stating the dates in absence within 48 hours, career and college days. Juniors get 2 days and seniors get 2 days. These have to be approved prior to the visit by the principal and director of student services. And then they also have to bring back the paperwork after the visit. That's all outlined on the college and career day form. Death in the immediate family and attendance at the funeral or a funeral of the family member. Circumstances that cause reasonable concern to the parent or guardian for the student's mental, emotional, or physical health or safety. The building administrator may excuse the student for additional days relative to military leave or deployment. Situations beyond the control of the student as determined by administration. Attendance at a school field trip, pending eligibility. Injury or illness at school and being sent home by the school nurse. Severe illness or injury which causes a student to be absent for an extended period may be counted as 1 day at the principal's discretion. For unexcused absences, parental approval to miss school doesn't necessarily mean the school will approve the absence. Any parent request over the allotted 4 days that does not fall into the exempt category, any mental health day over the allotted 5 days, any planned absence day over the allotted 5 days, any doctor appointments occurring over the 4 days that are not accompanied by a doctor's note within 48 hours of the student returning to school, any religious holiday taken without 5 days written notice by the parent, oversleeping, missing the bus, and or parental tardiness, car trouble or repair, a skip day. Any students participating in such an outing will be subject to the consequences of unexcused absences. Students who are excused from school are expected to check Google Classroom to complete the work during the absence. They will be given reasonable time to make up the missed work and classwork assignments. It's 1 day per day of absence. Students who are unexcused from school cannot make up missing assignments or activities for credit. There will be no additional preparation time given for work or exams due the day of their return. Prearranged absences is the responsibility of the students to present the prearranged absence form to appropriate faculty members and obtain classroom work once this absence form has been approved by the parent and administration. Faculty members must be given at least 48 hours notice to provide the student work. Work is due when students return to school. Additional time will be provided for the student to complete the work that was not provided by the teacher prior to the absence. So in other words, if the teacher doesn't give the work that the student will be missed to them ahead of time, then they have time to complete the work when they return. We also have put in place new procedures for chronic absenteeism. And so after the 4th parent verified absence, attendance letter number 1 will be sent, and the student will be tracked through our attendance group in Panorama. Student support services team will have a meeting to discuss, and a attendance contract will be put in place for that student. After the 8th absence, parent letter number 2 is sent home, and a meeting is set up with the school, parent, the student, and the ROE truancy officer as well as the administrator. After the 10th absence, attendance letter number 3 is sent home, an official notification to the ROE, which could result in referral to the Sangamon County State's Attorney. In Chapter 3, the updates that we have are some updated fees, and the resource link for that is at the end of the slide. So all of our school fees are included, and they were updated in Chapter 3. For Chapter 4, Transportation and Parking, under Section 4.10, we've added some general school information regarding bus transportation, and also some additional resources for bus safety. So those are in the student handbook now. Chapter 5, under Health and Safety, under Section 5.30, we added the district social workers specialized in providing social and emotional support to students. They can work directly with students either one-on-one or in a group setting. They're also able to help connect students and their families with outside services and resources as needed. Our school social worker is Miss Lopez. So if you need anything for your child for social emotional support, you can contact her either via email or at her extension. And then also there was an update under the Targeted School Violence Prevention Program, and that is Section 5.70. All that language was added in there as per the Model Student Handbook. Under Chapter 6, Discipline and Student Conduct, we have some updates under 6.40, Prevention of and Response to Bullying, Intimidation, and Harassment. The reporting procedures were updated concerning claims of bullying, and then updated the incident reporting form link. This is a link that is available to students in the hallways, in the lunchroom, in the bathrooms, on the stall doors. They are also sent this link so that they can just take a picture of it, and it takes them directly to the link to fill out any kind of incident report. We also added a new policy, 6.42, which is discrimination and harassment on the basis of race, color, and national origin is prohibited. And the language added in there is for as per the Model Student Handbook. And then we had some language updated in the second paragraph of our investigation process under harassment and teen dating violence. And again, this is required by the state law, and it's in the Model Student Handbook, and it is in line with our board policy. So how to make the report, the federal and state agencies, prevention and response program, enforcement and retaliation prohibited, all the wording in that policy was updated. Under Chapter 9, under 9.0, this is our awards recognition for athletics and attendance, and we added some language because we are moving to the Jostens Renaissance framework, and so that was updated. We also have some very important changes or updates to the prestigious pretzel incentive, and we changed the attendance wording back to no more than 8 periods missed for the quarter. And this will allow students to leave 1 time a week, not just on Fridays. So there will be a change in that, so they can miss no more than 8 periods of class for the quarter in order to earn that semester exam coupon, and they're allowed to leave 1 time a week. And then also we are no longer taking the PSAT and SAT. We'll be taking the ACT, so I updated the words under the statement and the state incentive coupon also. Under 9.10, student athletes and participants in extracurricular activities, one thing that was added is regarding attendance at extracurricular activities. Item number 2 was updated to include taking a mental health day. So students that take a mental health day cannot attend extracurricular activities. And then under 9.20, school dances and court rules for the junior-senior prom. We've had some issues in the past where freshmen and sophomore students were asked by a junior or senior, but that junior or senior already had a date, and that date was attending prom. So then they ask an underclassman, and then the underclassman comes and they're not with the person that invited them to the prom. So we added language that says a New Berlin high school is permitted to bring one guest and must accompany the guest that they signed up to bring to the dance. Any 9th or 10th grade student that is in attendance must complete the guest form and attend with the 11th or 12th grade student as their guest. And the guests of New Berlin high school students will be required to leave at the same time as their date. So I just explained all of this, and there is the verbiage. And then under Chapter 10, we have one update under special education, and this is regarding the prioritization of urgency of need for services that records information about individuals with intellectual disabilities or developmental disabilities. And so that language was updated as per the Model Student Handbook. And then Chapter 11, we didn't have any updates there. And finally, our final chapter is Chapter 12, Parental Right Notifications. Standardized testing language was updated. We are no longer going to be doing the NWEA MAP test, and we will be doing the iReady test. SAT will be replaced with ACT, pre-ACT 10 secure, and pre-ACT 9 secure, and we will be giving the iReady diagnostic. The final update is regarding sex offender notification law, and this is a new policy that was added, and it replaced policy 12.120, and this is verbiage that comes straight from the school law, school code. Here's our reference list, and so I will be emailing you the actual PowerPoint so you can click on these on the last slide. Our calendar of events, the student handbook changes, attendance procedures, and our district fees will all be added in there for you to have access to. I hope you're all having an enjoyable summer, and I cannot wait to see you all back at school in August. Don't forget, Freshman Academy will happen on August 2nd. I'll be sending more information out about that very soon. Have a great summer.